Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of OilTown here in City Skylines 2. Last episode, I decided to build this really big bridge. As a nation now with nearly $100 million in the bank, we seem to be cash rich. So what happens when a nation is cash rich? They start building ridiculous infrastructure, and that's the road that we are currently leading down right now. OilTown has now claimed 2 more islands a part of the kingdom with this big, expansive, beautiful road. And today, we're going to start hopefully building some stuff on these islands. Now, guys, if you are enjoying this series so far, this is now getting slightly out of hand. We've managed to turn... When you think about it, at the start of this series, OilTown almost went bankrupt, and I had to retire as mayor. And all of a sudden, right now, we are a huge metropolis with lots of cash money moving out in the bank, and with lots of people dying, who apparently we still don't have enough hearses. Now look at us, boys. We are killing the game. It's absolutely amazing. Now, today, we are going to work hopefully on this island here. There's a few things I want to kind of do to it to make it kind of really beneficial to the great nation of OilTown. Also, last episode, there's a few comments going, Seniac, when I seen you building a bridge, I thought you were building a road to outside of the region. Right, listen here, boys, okay? Listen here. Do you really want a road to outside of the region? Do you really want one? If I built one, it's going to provide lots of vehicles, traffic, and people moving in. But also, OilTown will no longer be an island. Choose wisely in the comment section down below. But I want to work with this one anyway first. Now, what I need to do before I do anything is, because the road is completely elevated, so we are allowed just to kind of build stuff underneath, I need to create a connection for it. Now, this, we're going to kind of use a little bit of it, a portion of it, for a little bit of a utility section. Now, we have a utility island over there, which is really far out the way. It only makes sense to build a smaller utility, nothing major. I mainly want to get kind of garbage down there and a little bit of death care coverage, because right now the city is screaming at me. But also I want to build more oil wells. Now, when we check, and I haven't checked this in quite some time, that's the wrong button, there we go, our production, my surplus of crude oil, even though it is still super high, it's starting to get a little bit lower than before. We are producing and having surpluses. Oh, we have a deficit of petrochemicals. Interesting. So we need to produce more petrochemicals. Okay. And then I think there's no immaterial goods that kind of relate to the oil industry. But we are slightly slacking on the one, which are the petrochemicals, which we produce those via importing them, processing them with zoned industry. Are you sure that's not also a one of these chemical plant? No, I'm thinking the chemical plant. The chemical plant is fuel. Hold on. What does my fuel plant do? Well, hold on, boys. I've been completely sidetracked right now. There's the oil refinery that produces plastics. There's the fuel plant that produces petrochemicals. I might place a couple of these down on this brand new island as well. We're going to go industry on this one. And on that one, we're going to go metropolis skyscrapery. Oh, it's going to be interesting. Right, so let's do this then. Let's get this rocking and a rolling. So I don't quite know if we're going to need 4 lanes, but I'm going to do it anyway. And I'm not particularly too sure what the best method would be to kind of build this. If I come off this with a 90 degree and just kind of went down to there, stick you out, make you go forward, and then completely delete you, and you. Because we're going to make this underpass it, and then we're going to connect up the Oh. Of course there is a pillar in the way, Seniac. Could you not build in the one place that didn't have a pillar? No, I could not. Right, that goes to there. That cuts across to there. We're all good. So we got to build a beautiful connection. A really beautiful connection, boys. To allow us to kind of get on and off this road. Now, I could go really big, ridiculous, or I could just keep it really simple. Those are my options. And Seeing as we don't really have much traffic, we can keep it quite simple. There's no point pushing the boundaries too much, right? Right, guys? I'm going to get the one little road here, and if I look at this, there is 1, 2, 3, 4 maybe we could do. So if I brought this out by there, brought you into there. I don't know if this is actually the right way round. But like I said, I'm going to keep it really, really simple. No, this is the right way. We're all good. We're all good. So if I then do a... I mean, how high is this as well? That's another issue I've got, is the height of it. Oh, I think it's only plus 10, which is all good. Okay, sweet. So if I delete you back again, and we come from here and go plus 10 to there. So it's just after the zoning mark. And then we do the same going back as well. All right, so that will be there. And then coming down to here. We're now going to try and bring these both in as little on and off ramps. Nice and simple. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy right now. So if I picked here, which, to be honest with you, we should actually maybe do a complex curve and do it ourselves. So there to there is about 96. So in the middle, 48, right? All right, bam. And then just before, obviously, that little pillar. So if I do the same again here, I'm not saying it's going to be perfect, but we'll give it a good go. We'll give it a good go, boys. Right. Wait, hold on. Why is that one not elevated? Anyone else find that slightly weird? Right, there we go. That was slightly weird, wasn't it? So let me now sort out the ability for them not to do turns. So you can't do a left turn. There we go. We don't want any traffic lights. There we go. We don't want any crossings. That's not how we roll on this junction. And as simplistic as that is, and as basic as that is, we are then now all set up. Now, theoretically, right, we don't have any vehicles going that way or coming back from that way, so we don't really need the on and off ramps here at the minute. But I'll get them in anyway, because Future Seniac will very, very much appreciate that. Right, Future Seniac? Right, he can't hear us. He has no idea what's even going on right now. Also, Future Seniac's a noob. You heard it here first. Right, elevate you up. Bring you down. There we go. And if I can remember this correctly now, right now, my complex curve, we're looking at a 48, bam, bam. So if I do the same here, 48, bam, bam-ish. I think that's about it. I think that's about it right now. So let me make sure that we can't do the right turn. So no right turn there. Oh, hang on, that's the wrong button. There we go. No right turn there. No crossroads. No traffic lights. Get rid, get rid, get rid. And that's fine for now. I probably will eventually bulk those roads up. We'll just see how we kind of get on. So that's really, really basic, really, really simple. There's no uniqueness to that junction whatsoever. There's no fanciness. There's no dramatic kind of setups like we've done in the past, like the big trumpets. It's just a basic one of these. That's all it is. Now, you could argue we need to sort out lane math. That is the next argument. And let me see what lane math looks like to an area like this. So annoyingly, it's going to be kind of staggered, but that's, I think, because we've got the snap on, right? So if I got rid of the snap, and if I actually made it go to a highway-style road, there we go. We can get away with a lot more there. We can get away with a lot more. And 4-lane, no. We could, obviously... I can't do it on the bridge because it gets rid of the bridge aesthetic. But I can kind of turn a large chunk of this into a highway-esque style. Pause. I've just realised what I've done. All of that needs to be a tunnel. Oh, snap. I've got that now. Anarchy it all. That fool just literally lost his mind. Oh my goodness me. Has that ruined my landscape? Kind of. Right, let me delete this and get the connection back in. Oh, what an idiot. Wait. Don't do this to me now, please, game. Don't do this to me now, please. Please don't do this to me now. Oh, no. How has this happened? Guys, how has this now happened? This is why I shouldn't mess with stuff, right? This is why I shouldn't mess with stuff. Right, let me go back down underground, and then obviously I want to kind of bend this coming up. So if I bring you to there, we're still on the ground, but now we're to a reasonable height. So if I come above ground, go down to... Oh, I pressed the wrong button there. Oh, it's all going wrong. Right, this anarchy is kicking me in the booty right now. Turn the damn anarchy off, Seniac. Right, where's the snap? Where's the connection to this? What do you mean slope is too steep? Is this why we need anarchy on? Right, do you know what? That's now connected. I'm just going to leave it as it is, or I'll end up crying again. Right. Crisis averted. Hold on. What is going on here? Crisis not averted. Right, now I've got to delete this. Guys, what has happened? Oh my goodness. Right. Anarchy, get off right now. You're not my friend. There we go. Right. That shouldn't have been as difficult as it was right there. Holy smokes. Okay, so we're going to now set up then a few little bits and bobs to kind of make this a beautiful little island. So I want to first drop in some utilities, okay? That's what I want to first kind of play around with. So we're going to come off... right, let's get this rid of you right now. We're going to put you to the ground. That's fine. And I'm going to pick a spot. I'm going to pick a spot about there and then just bring you... Oh, no, that's not... whatchamacallit? That's a highway road, that was, wasn't it? Yeah, bring you out just for a second. And then see what we can do around here. So, what I want is a little bit of death care and a little bit of garbage facility for the utility side of it. I'll leave some space still available because we can always add more to it. Now, garbage availability. I'm probably going to do JP Recycling Center. What's this? Oh, Japan Recycling Center. Does that do anything more or anything big? It's the same as a normal recycling center. Same amount of trucks. It's pretty much the same stats as the normal one, but we could... but is it a smaller building? It is a smaller building. Okay, that could work in our favor. Right, I feel like we should either place it here or on that side if I move the road down. How big is the... Oh, we've got new crematoriums. I didn't realize all this. UK Parish Church, storage capacity, 100. So normal ones... Oh, normal ones can go there. Okay, right. We've got it. We figured it out. We have figured it out, boys. So if I built you there, this Japan-style recycling center, there's no upgrades we can do to it. So the default building is what it is. Now, these ones, we can add to them. So it's a case of, do I want more of these? Now, I think I'll have more individual buildings, to be honest with you, because it kind of then tricks the game to thinking we do have more processing abilities. So I'm going to place 3 there. I don't like the positioning of them now. Now I know you can't do nothing to them. I'm just going to slightly reposition them and put like a tile in between because I can use my little alley-style road to kind of work with. I know it looks kind of random, but we will reclaim some area and land. I don't know if power's going to make it over here or water. Is that an issue? It gets killed off by the fact that I've upgraded to a highway road. So let me just bring the power over. And I'm assuming the same for sewage and water, right? Yes. Going to bring this all the way over right now. So at least the island has the basic utilities needed. And they're now pumping out vehicles. The vehicles aren't any different, are they? Is that a Japanese-style garbage truck? I'm not sure, but there's some wild ones right behind it. That's a dump truck. Interesting. Very interesting. So a couple of those there for garbage, but garbage is not my biggest issue over there. It's not my biggest issue. I want to take a look at these crematoriums. So I'm going to leave that space there for something bigger. We'll start with placing you here. And then obviously we'll drop the refrigeration cooling. We add the additional incinerator. And then we'll get a few additional vehicles, garages down. And then keep it simple. So I'm only going to start with 1. And then we'll see how we get on. So I don't want to ultimately cause too much traffic issues to begin with. Right, so along here then, I want to place down some of those signature buildings, the fuel plants. I want to try and place a couple of these down. Now, if we was to rotate them slightly, so for example, if I took the very end of this off here, and then came up to there. I want to see how much land I need to slightly reclaim. So only a little bit more. Only a little bit more. So level terrain. So I believe it's to about there. Let's just roll with that for just a kind of a split second. And then give us a little bit of space. Drop you down. Drop you down there. And I feel like we should make it go a little bit further so I can get the kind of the nice little perimeter road style going around. So if I went to here, but then, oh, I need to push it back by 1 more. Right. I know exactly what I've got to do here, boys. I know exactly what I've got to do here. There's a style I want to kind of maximize this space and area. So if I went to here instead, right, and if I then moved you in, so put you there, and then put you... Is that right about there? It's got to go there, hasn't it? Yeah, it's got to go there. So I can create this nice little alleyway-esque system that I like to do to create these small little compounds. That's exactly what I want. That is exactly what I'm trying to go for right now. And I'm going to build another one. That's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to build another one. So if I just delete this, because this will give me the idea of how far we got to take this now. So that to there is 128. So a 128, a 2. We'll go 296. Hopefully that there not only gives us enough space to work with. Yes. So it gives it a big bit of chunk of space in the middle. And I'm just going to reclaim a little bit more land here. Right, now I've just got to double check. These are the right buildings, right? Yeah, they produce petrochemicals, yes. Could you imagine if I got the wrong building? Oh, I would have cried. Right, there we go. Create another small compound style. We're about to get that wrong then for a second. There we go. There we go. And this 4-lane road, I'm not quite sure what to now do with this 4-lane road as it kind of slightly ends there. We've got these nice big petrochemical plants, or fuel plants as they're known. They do provide over 400 jobs each one, so that's 4, 8, 12, 1,600 jobs. We need public transport already coming over here. That's crazy. I mean, these take 60 jobs. That takes 71. So we're pushing on the way already up to 2,000 jobs on this island right now. So I don't know how much this is going to change the area. I don't know if it instantly changes the production levels of the petrochemicals. But it'll take a while before we see that go quite dramatically down. But we have placed now quite a few buildings. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see. We have to import more grain by the looks of it. And that's most likely what we're going to have to do. So, with that said, I've got this beautiful space here for some more oil drilling, boys. And I've got an option. I could either do it as one big oil field, or we could do a couple of individual ones. Now, me personally, I like the idea of doing a big oil field, because look at those. Those look absolutely marvelous. And then when you see the size of them compared to what we've got available here, it makes sense to only do one. It really does. So if I then go to the zoning, the oil drilling, which is just here, and do I create a small individual area, or should we just keep it simple? I could treat it as maybe as the end section. So what if I deleted this road for a hot min? Went to that alley style. No, actually, no. We'll go to the normal style road here. And how about... Actually, no. How about we... No. That looks silly. So I could have just kept the same then at that point, couldn't I? So what if I just went to there with that? And we go to our zoning right now to get the oil drilling building. Right, it needs to go a little bit further in. Right, I think that will be okay. Yes, that will work for us. Gonna bring this all the way down. So we have to anarchy this right now to go out the bounds of the actual zoned area. And then we just get this. Right, let's get these snapping off for a second. To now go around the radius of the island to maximize the coverage. So this will ultimately boys, give us the most amount of jobs. Now I'm going to bring that to there, put the snapping back on. Ta-da. That's quite big, isn't it? Now, tell me this is not a worker island without telling me that this is not a worker's island right now. This is a worker's paradise. And we'll slowly, very slowly, start seeing the oil wells appearing. So imagine when we eventually build this as a big metropolis island over in the distance, to get to and from the mainland, you've got to drive through an oil well. I kind of like that. It reminds me of like California, like in LA, there's like oil wells. And like, you know, you could be driving through the city and all of a sudden you just come across a big oil field. It's kind of cool. It is kind of cool. Right, that's glorious then. We've got a bit more room over here left now for more kind of servicey style buildings, depending on what the city kind of requires as it slowly adapts to these new areas. I don't think enough production has been done or would have changed to reduce this. It's actually reduced it by a ton. But I am assuming we've got to wait until they're in full force and producing like crazy. But I don't feel like they produce as much petrochemicals as we would like or assume. I mean, a lot of it can also come from the zoned industry, to which I do have a little bit of demand. There is a few places in which I can kind of squeeze some in. Would it make sense to place any of them around here? I don't think so. Not for the most part. Now, this at the minute provides 55 jobs. That number will increase as more and more oil wells and stuff will kind of get built. But it is a little bit of a slow process. Now, we need to think about public transport coming over here. So I did say... Oh, we've got some medical waiting for hearses still. Have you dropped any vehicles out yet? You've got one vehicle now going to collect. Very good, sir. Very good. Right. What did I just say right there? Oh, public transport. There we go. So, we do have a line that runs into here. Now, that is our green line that comes down, turns all the way down, and pretty much stops here where they come in via ship. Now, that's perfect. It's quite a small little run. We're going to extend that to come over to there and eventually extend down to here. So, to be able to do that, we need to implement a stop. And I think because there's more people that are going to be working in these 4 buildings than over here, it kind of does make a little bit more sense to have the subway stop faced like that. And then they can walk to where they need to get to, and eventually it will then pass over in this direction. That's the idea in my head anyway. Right, is that the line connecting? I'm hoping this doesn't now. Ah, oh, you fool, Sadiak. Right, I'm an idiot, boys. You change one setting in the game. You change one setting. And now everything is all broken. You know what I mean? You change one setting on a road where you're trying to build tunnels, and then you don't realise the foolishness that is about to ensue. Right, that's back in. Right, get rid of you. Okay. That's now gone. Right, now we're underground. So, bringing this to there. So, the elevation differences is kind of interesting. Actually, we might have to drop it down a little bit to avoid any pop-outs on the road. And then this here is a 78, 80, bam. So that was very simple. Oh my goodness me, it doesn't work there, does it? Oh no. Right, this is the pain we have to endure. I think it helps to make it just drop down underground a little bit more. Just City Skyline 2 things. Right, I don't want anything to kind of determine what we're trying to accomplish. And that should be no issue. There we go. That should be no issue. Right. Okay. So that line that now goes here, the game's still paused, by the way, but we're now going to extend this to treat the next station as its end stop. And then by doing so, it removes the stops here, which we add in ourselves now. Giving us more extension, more passengers to maneuver. There's a lot of people that use that subway station as well because of the university areas kind of around. You know, it's very, very important. And plus, obviously, all the offices here. That's another reason as well, boys. That's another reason. Do many people use the technical university? Only 28 people. Imagine a university can hold 17,000 people, only 28 people go to. That's when you know we got too much money. And when we can supplement the expenses of such a huge institution. Crazy, right? Absolutely crazy. Right, so those indications of the death care are now slowly disappearing. I also believe, because the game's running so slow, the indications... because the game's running so slow, the vehicles take longer to get to there, so you're seeing the indications for longer, thus tricking you into thinking you have a problem. Where if the game was running at normal speed or fast speed, what it can do before you start building in the game, or normally when you've got smaller cities, they wouldn't be there. They would be there the same amount of time, if that makes sense. But, you know, just faster. So, now we've got public transport leading over here. We've only got one form of it, and they will have to walk. Not a problem. Not a problem indeed. I would like to see if this is going to do any dents into that deficit of petrochemicals. Now, it is decreasing. It was at 38-ton deficit. We've brought it down to now 33-ton deficit. Now, it goes up, it goes down. It's all over the place right now. It's all over the place. But it would be nice to maybe get a surplus. And then we can 100% guarantee that's something that we are consistently exporting, as the great nation of OilTown should. It's now down to 33.1 tons. Okay, it's now back up to 33.2. So I think it's just a kind of a waiting game to see what it kind of bottom outs at. 33.3, that's going the wrong direction. Or it could be a case of the building that we're utilizing right now, 32.6. That went down. Ooh, that did go down. Okay. So it might be a case of just kind of giving it time and seeing where it ultimately just bottom outs at. And that will be kind of interesting. So it gives us a bigger oil field. Arguably, did we need the oil field because of the 40 surplus of oil that we've currently got right now? Of course we did. Of course we did need it. Yeah, we did need it. We did need it, boys. And that's going to produce so much oil for us. Now, what that is, it's just a stopgap for this island here, where we're going to build a big metropolis. But I like the idea they have to kind of drive through. So we'll see what happens. We'll just see what happens. Let me just check the surplus one more time. It is, oh, 27.5. Okay, that's definitely coming down. I don't know if I've built enough buildings to make it a surplus from a deficit. We'll have to see. We will have to see. So the population is now 328, which is kind of crazy. We are closing in on 100 million in the bank right now, boys. It's getting actually quite terrifying. Unemployment is 9.6%. Not bad. And that new, I say new line, but that line that we added the subways to, extension, sorry, has only 3 vehicles. We're going to add another 2 vehicles. And then that should kind of create more frequent train arrivals. Yes. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below, boys. It's a stopgap for this one. But do you think I should be implementing a bridge to the or road connection to the outside region? Maybe we could do a one-off episode where I add it in and then delete it at the end of the episode, and whatever vehicles made their way in, make their way in. Let me know in the comment section down below. But until next time, I'll see you all soon. So, goodbye.